Before the shiur, Jacob over here asked, is it true that Adam and Chava were, when they were created together, meaning back to back, they were attached as one? And the answer is, that's one of the opinions. The Gemara Masechet Brachot says, is one opinion that Adam was created first, then Hashem took his rib and made her. But then there's another opinion that really where it initially says that there is a man and a woman, and then it says Adam v'Chava. Later on, like it says it a couple of times, it says no, there is an opinion that they were originally created together, attached, back to back. Two people, but back to back. And then Hashem put them to sleep and separated them. That's a couple of opinions about that. The bigger question that I asked Jacob, and I want you guys maybe to help us, give us some answer, is why didn't Hashem, regardless of which opinion is it, regardless of whether they were created out of the rib, or they were created together and then split, regardless, why didn't Hashem create Chava, in English Eve, I have no idea how they got the name, but Eve, why didn't he just create her out of nothing just like he did with Adam? Obviously we know that Hashem is the only one that can create everything from nothing. He created Adam from nothing, created the world from nothing. That's his Gdulah. He's the only one that can create anything out of nothing. We can manipulate creation. We can innovate creation. We cannot create something from nothing. He's the only one that creates something from nothing. So he created Adam HaRishon from nothing. Why didn't he create Chava also from nothing? Why didn't he have to take a rib? Why? No? Who can give me an answer? Same price. If you have an answer, you get $50. I'll raise the ante.
Can you repeat the question?
Ante goes up, huh? Now we have it. Yeah, okay. Now, repeat the question. The common opinion is that Adam was created first. You with me? Adam was created first. Then Hashem, the parasha says, Parashit, Hashem put him to sleep. He took a rib and he made Chava out of it. The question is, why did Hashem not just create Chava out of nothing? I mean, obviously he created Adam out of nothing. Why did he have to take a rib from Adam to create Chava? It cannot be because limitations of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that would be kfirah. That would be heresy. He's capable of doing anything. So it cannot be a limitation. Why didn't he just decide, okay, Adam, you're here, okay, Chava, you're here? Why do you have to take something from something that already exists? Needless to say, from Adam. Why didn't he take it from the bear? I don't know, maybe the bear has some extra bones. Take it from the lion. Maybe she could be nice lioness. Why? No, Chava, give me. He needed Chava. No, elaborate. Give me more.
Rib is a very essential key in your body.
You have extras. If you break a rib, you can still live.
You could. It's a very important piece of your body.
Yeah, when I played football, I hurt my ribs a lot, and I still live, Baruch Hashem.
It protects, your inner, inside.
So if he took a leg instead, would it make a difference? So we're in the right direction. We're getting there. We're getting. You said a few good words. B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to get something. No.
Well, I have two opinions.
Noach has to have two opinions. B'ezrat Hashem. No? Give me.
So one opinion would be that since, Adam was created from nothing, the fact that Hashem decided to take it from a living being, rather than just a bear, which is animalistic, shows that an importance that, in the future, you gotta, to have to reproduce comes from something.
Okay.
So the fact that you're reproducing from a male to a female, in a sense, he made something from a male to a female, and it just shows that there's a bond there to create reproduction.
Okay.
The other side could be that, going along the lines like he said, is that the rib is where the neshama is that correct?
Yeah.
So I feel like the fact that it's such an essential part in the body, it has some sort of kedusha to it.
Actually, neshama is in the brain, but it's still that's where your heart is. But you're going. I got your point. I need more. I want more. I like it. You guys, we complete the answers. B'ezrat Hashem. We need another piece to the puzzle. We need another one. In the back, the ladies. B'ezrat Hashem. Yes. If you could transfer the mic. One second. It's not good. No, you're. I like it today. I like it. You guys are got something.
I have like two different ideas. One, maybe it's that like just like it was Shabbat, like Hashem minimized himself to have like one day for it, like to rest. Like even though he didn't need it, he kind of just took it to show us that like we can do the same in return.
Right.
So maybe like minimized himself and like, yeah, I can make like something from nothing, but like just to show that like you guys can do it too, and kind of like for us to give us like space to emulate him and like do the same maybe too.
Okay, next opinion.
Yeah.
That's the second opinion.
I just combined both of them.
I combine both of them. Okay, all right. That's another piece. We need more. You got one in front of you has it, or next to you has it. All right, go ahead. No.
So, maybe because what he did is he took the part of the guy to like make into a girl, so that every guy has to find their other piece that they're missing.
Chazak?
Like
it's almost perfect answer. No, give me more.
So.
Why do I need a girl? Why didn't you just make me with Steven?
What do you mean?
Why is it a guy and a girl? Why is it from her? Why didn't I just get it from something else? You're on the right track. Elaborate more on what you're saying.
I mean.
Okay, I'll combine all of your answers and Mezat Hashem give you an answer. So, here we go. Akadosh Baruch Hu says that when a person has ego, Akadosh Baruch Hu has to distance himself from that person. Why? If you have an ego, if you're an arrogant person, that's considered disgusting in the eyes of Hashem. So one of the things that he had to show us immediately, is that, like you said, we need each other. The man needs the woman needs the man. Now why couldn't that be taught to us if he simply created the woman out of nothing? If he just created the man and then just took a bunch of clay together and put the woman together, why wouldn't the same thing be taught that way? The reason why, Rabotai, is not because of the bone that he used. The bone that he used, I'll give you a different answer for. But rather because if he created man by himself, from nothing, and then woman by herself, from nothing, then the woman can say to the man, I don't need you. Hashem himself created me. Hashem himself created me. I don't need you. I don't need you. There's no connection between us. And the man will say, no connection between us. Why? What puts us in? What gives us something in common? I'm the king of the world, and you think you're the king, and the other one says you're the king of the world, and I'm the king, and so on and so forth. Both of them would see themselves as the kings. Both of them would see themselves as the world was created for them by themselves, because both of them were independent creations. By creating Adam HaRishon and then taking a piece out of him and making it Chava, they both are connected to each other whether they like it or not. Meaning that no one can say, wait a minute, I could exist without you, or she could say I could exist without you. Why? I wouldn't have come to being if it wasn't for you being created first. I wouldn't have come to being if it wasn't created for you being first. And then Adam HaRishon could also say, wait a minute, Hashem obviously saw Lo tov adam levado. A person is not good by himself. Therefore, he put me to sleep and he created you because I'm not good enough by myself. Therefore, like you guys said, he created both of us. But why did he choose the rib and not the leg or the arm or anything else? To teach us one of the other critical lessons that a Jew and a Gentile both must know. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has certain things that he loves and there's certain things that he hates. In this week's parasha, Bilam, after he fails at his mission of cursing Am Yisrael, he says to Balak, if you want to beat them, you want to beat Am Yisrael, you have to have them beat themselves. How? By making them convincing them to do something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates. What does HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates? Elohem soneh zima. Their God hates promiscuity. immodesty. He hates it. He despises it. So if you could convince them to become promiscuous, you convince them to start walking around half naked, you convince them to do all the things like that Hashem hates, they will defeat themselves. Hashem will punish them by themselves without us needing to curse them. So what did Balak do? Balak gathered all the young girls, all the 17, 18, 19-year-old girls, including his own daughter, and he sent them all to the camp of Am Yisrael. Even though they were goyot, Am Yisrael saw, wait, maybe I could convert her. Maybe she comes from a good family. Maybe this, maybe that. And they started looking at them, hanging out with them. And then these women pretending like they wanted to be with them, because that was their mission. And as soon as they got them alone, they said, listen, if you want to be with me, pray to my idol. So not only did they end up failing for the immodesty and intermarriage of being with goyot, but even more so, they ended up failing for actually worshiping an idol. And that's why Kadosh Baruch Hu almost killed the entire nation, killed 24,000 people, until Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen, Pinchas the son of Elazar, the grandson of Aaron HaKohen, he ended up stopping the plague by killing the leader that made it as if it was kosher to do. Now Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to teach us from the first parasha that He hates immodesty, He hates promiscuity. How? By taking the most modest bone we have in our entire body. Why? If you look at any other bone in your body, it's not covered by anything other than the skin that covers it. Your legs, if it wasn't skin, you'd see the leg. If you walk, you see the leg. But the rib bone is not only the skin, but you also have your arms covering it. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to hint to us, I like when girls are covered. I like when boys are covered. I like modesty. I like it. Why? If you're modest, you're not modest because of a style. You're modest because you know there's a Kadosh Baruch Hu that's watching and hates it. So it's not just that we need each other. Men and women need each other in order to reproduce. But there's also something to learn from it, that there's even a way to reproduce. There's a way to be a man and woman. There's a proper way to do it. And there's an improper way to do it. If you do it the proper way, your marriage will be blessed, your life will be blessed, and so on and so forth. If not, Hashem Yirachem, you see the statistics today, as I always repeat to you guys, they get worse and worse throughout the days. So we can do everything we want to do in a kosher way. You want to eat? You can eat. Just eat kosher food. You want to be with somebody? You can be. Just be married. Anything. You want to do business? You want to make money? You can make money. Just make money from a kosher business. Make money from a kosher business in a kosher way. Anything you want to do, any desire that you have, there's a kosher way to fulfill it. And that's actually one of the main things that the Torah tells us, is that there's not a lacking as a result of you fulfilling the Torah. It's the opposite. It's actually using the Torah to learn how to take material and sanctify it, how to make it holy, how to make your eating holy, how to make your drinking holy, how to make your relationship with your wife or husband holy, how to make your job and making money holy. That's the point of the Torah. The point of the Torah is to show you how to use all of the things that you have in the world and use them in a holy way. It's not to abstain from everything and go into some cave in the middle of nowhere by yourself with a Gemara. That's not it. That's not what a Kadosh Baruch Hu wants. Hashem doesn't want you to go in the middle of nowhere in some desert with a Gemara and you're by yourself. No. Hashem wants you to use the Torah in order to learn how to use the beautiful creation that He has in a kosher way. If you can do that, you're not only going to make yourself a fantastic life in the next world, but you also make yourself a fantastic life in this world. Because now, everything you do has a meaning. You're not just doing the mundane like everybody else. You wake up, you go to sleep. You wake up, you go to sleep. And in between, you eat, you go to the bathroom, you work, you make a few dollars, you lose a few dollars. And every day it's the same thing, until either you die or commit suicide, whichever one comes first. That's unfortunately the secular world, because no matter what you do in the secular world, it loses its value, it loses its meaning after a while. That's why you see sometimes these celebrities, they marry each other. Usually they're all good looking, but somehow at some point they get divorced. Why? How could you divorce this beautiful woman? How could you divorce this beautiful guy? How could you divorce this rich guy, this rich woman? How could you divorce them? Everybody else wants to be with them. You're divorcing them? How could it be? Because eventually, if there's no control, if there's no meaning, it becomes disgusting. And that's what Shlomo HaMelech says, before we open up to the next question. Shlomo HaMelech says, Dvash matzata echol dayeka, pentis be'ena ve'ekiato. You found honey, it's delicious, right? But even though it's delicious, eat a little bit. Don't eat too much. Why? If you eat a lot of it, even though it's delicious in the beginning, you eat a lot of it, eventually it will become disgusting. Even though your favorite food may be steak, your favorite food may be chocolate, your favorite food may be strawberries, whatever it is. Imagine you ate it, and only it, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Now in the beginning it sounds great. Wow, I can't wait to have breakfast, every day steak, every day chocolate, every day this. After a day, it's cool. 2 days, a little less cool. A week, I don't really want it anymore. Can I have something else? No, we have a deal. Only steak every day. 2 weeks, you just start hearing the word steak, you want to vomit. 3 weeks, you're in the hospital. Just give me IV. I can't do it. I can't talk about steak anymore. Why? You ate too much of it, it became disgusting to you. And that applies with everything. With everything. This is the reason why Rabbi Nachman of Breslov says that people that do not control their desires and fulfill every one of their desires, especially at a young age, where they think that every time they have a physical desire, they have to fulfill it. What ends up happening is that they end up putting themselves in a very bad situation in life because they have created such a threshold that they can no longer meet. For example, if a man tries to meet every one of his physical desires, initially he meets his physical desires by himself. Eventually it's not enough, he wants to have a partner. Eventually that partner is not enough, he becomes promiscuous, and he wants more than one partner. The same applies for women, by the way. He wants more than one partner. Eventually more than one partner is not enough, he wants them more frequently. Eventually that's not enough, he wants the same gender. We want something taboo. Eventually it's not enough, and he wants something out of the same species. And that's why in America today, you can look this up on the internet if you'd like to be disgusted. In America today, there are over 3 million people in America today, which is almost 1% of the population, that admit to having relations with animals. That's how far it is. Now you think, wow, that's crazy, right? It's not new. It's not new. Gemara Masechet Shabbat says that if you notice, all of the Goyim kings, Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, many of these Goyim kings, it constantly mentions that animals next to them. Why do I care that Bil'am had a donkey? It never says that Avraham Avinu had a donkey. It never says that Yaakov had a donkey. Why do I care that Bil'am had a donkey? The prophet of the Goyim had a donkey. That Nebuchadnezzar had an animal next to him. That Belshazzar had his dog sit next to him. Why do I care? Because these kings, these powerful people, they met every one of their physical desires. Eventually it wasn't enough. Wasting seed wasn't enough the regular way. They wanted to do it an unusual way. Promiscuity led, eventually that wasn't enough. Nebuchadnezzar would invite different people, different men, different kings from other countries to come, and he'd rape them. Because it wasn't enough. After that it wasn't enough, it became bestiality. These kings, the Gemara says, this is not Yaron Uven. Gemara says, these kings, you see the animals next to them. Bilam, there's an animal next to him. Why? That was his wife. The donkey was his wife. Meaning that it's not just not kosher to be not kosher, if you will. As far as being with a non-Jewish person, being promiscuous, it's not just that. It's also unhealthy mentally. It's also unhealthy mentally because eventually, every time you break that line, now your threshold becomes bigger and bigger. And you need more to satisfy yourself. You need more to satisfy yourself. Eventually, one sandwich is not enough. You need 2 sandwiches. 2 sandwiches is not enough. You need 3 sandwiches. And so on and so forth. That's why Kadosh Baruch Hu says from the beginning, from Parashat Bereshit, everything that you want, you're allowed. Just have me in mind and do it in a modest way. That's why I took the rib, the one and only bone that's covered, to create Chava. Because women represent modesty. If you're a modest woman, you're a Bat Yisrael. And I'll treat you as a Bat Yisrael. But if you're not a modest woman, then it's like a queen that walks around, naked in the streets because she wants to fit in with the public. Yes, I understand you want to fit in with the public, but you're a queen. You cannot do such things. You cannot do such things. You're a queen. You can't walk around like everybody else. Yeah, but maybe they'll like me. It doesn't matter if they like you. They're not like you. So it doesn't matter if they like you. They're not like you. You're a queen, they're not. A Bat Israel is a queen. She has to act and look accordingly. Same thing with the Ben Israel. You have to act and look accordingly.